Imagine a man lying in a hospital bed. He is struggling for every breath. A bullet has torn through his chest, and 18 of the finest physicians in the state are hovering over him, knowing the end is near. But instead of last rites, he is being read an oath of office. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood political thriller. This happened in real life. William Goebel is the only man in United States history to be sworn in as a state governor while on his deathbed. And he remains the only US governor ever to be assassinated while in office. His death didn't just end a career, it nearly started a civil war in the heart of Kentucky. How did a disputed election lead to a sniper in a government building? And why was a dying man forced to take an oath he would never live to fulfill? Today, we dive into the bloodiest political chapter in American history, the assassination of William Goebel. To understand why William Goebel was shot, you have to understand Kentucky in 1899. The state was a powder keg. On one side, you had the Old Guard and the powerful Louisville and Nashville Railroad. On the other, you had William Goebel, a man often called the Kentuckian dictator. Goebel was a Democrat, but he wasn't exactly a man of the people. He was abrasive, brilliant, and incredibly polarizing. He had already killed a man in a duel years prior, a political rival, and walked away claiming self-defense. In the 1899 gubernatorial election, Goebel ran against Republican William S. Taylor. The results were razor thin. Taylor was initially declared the winner, but Goebel didn't believe in losing. Using a controversial law he had written himself, he challenged the results. By January 1900, Kentucky had 2 men claiming to be governor, and thousands of armed supporters were pouring into the capital. The air smelled of gunpowder before a single shot was even fired. January 30th, 1900, a Tuesday morning. The temperature in Frankfort was freezing. William Goebel was walking toward the state capitol building, flanked by 2 friends. He knew he was a target. He had received countless death threats, but he refused to hide. As they approached the fountain in front of the Capitol, a sharp crack echoed through the square. A bullet, fired from a window in the nearby State Board building, occupied by his Republican rivals, struck Goebel in the chest. The force knocked him to the ground. Panic erupted. Soldiers scrambled. Goebel was rushed to a nearby hotel. The bullet had passed through his right lung and lodged near his spine. As Goebel lay bleeding, the state went into a total meltdown. The sitting Republican governor, Taylor, called out the militia, fearing a coup. The Democrats, meanwhile, met in secret, desperate to get Goebel legally into power before his heart stopped beating. On January 31st, the day after the shooting, the Democrat-led legislature officially threw out the election results and declared William Goebel the winner. The scene that followed was haunting. Goebel was drifting in and out of consciousness. His body was failing. Amidst the smell of antiseptic and blood, the Chief Justice of the Kentucky Court of Appeals stood over his bed. With a faint voice, William Goebel whispered the words of the oath. He was now, legally, the governor of Kentucky. His first act? He signed the proclamation to disperse the militia that was currently surrounding the building he was dying in. For 3 days, the state held its breath. 18 physicians worked around the clock, but medical science in 1900 was no match for a high-powered rifle round to the lung. On the afternoon of February 3rd, 1900, William Goebel died. He had been the active governor for just 4 days, and he spent every second of that time in a bed, dying from the very office he sought. The death of Goebel didn't end a conflict. It turned into a legal circus. More than 15 people were eventually indicted for the murder. The investigation pointed toward a conspiracy involving high-ranking Republicans. Caleb Powers, the Republican Secretary of State, was tried 4 times, while the Republican Governor Taylor fled to Indiana to avoid arrest. To this day, historians debate who actually pulled the trigger. Some say it was a professional assassin. Others believe the truth was buried along with Goebel. Today, a statue of William Goebel stands in Frankfurt, looking out over the land he fought and died to lead. His story is a chilling reminder of what happens when political polarization reaches a breaking point. He was a man who won the highest office in his state only after he was essentially a dead man walking. What do you think? Was Goebel a hero or a power-hungry politician? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay curious.